Join Samantha and Hans at the next Macro to Micro Options Power Hour, held each Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Registration is free. Scan this QR code or click on the link in the description.
You've been crushing it on a lot of your option plays that you've discussed with clients. And so we come together and basically want to review market direction, sector rotations, select stock choices that we really like, the options that support it, and then answer your questions. So you can hit us up in Zoom Q&A, particular interest, that we can give to your particular trade idea, but please let us know the time frame. One thing that I like to do is kind of break it down into chase, swing, trend time frame. Everyone defines that differently, but definitely chases for the momentum. Swing can last a few weeks to a few months, and trends are obviously more durable, sometimes macro or sometimes very specific trend trades within stocks that are just working because of a theme or because you really like the company fundamentals, and they can take months to years. So just let us know your time frame. Hans is our options mentor, so he works not only in teaching options, how to do it the right way, both for alpha and for hedging strategies on your portfolio, those overlay strategies, earnings plays, and the rest, but he also works with our clients and delivers a lot of custom trade support. So we're pretty much trying to bring this year home. And to that end, we actually were frustrated Monday, Tuesday, a little molasses-like market. But today it kind of unstuck. My growth to value rotation triggered. And we saw a whole bunch of stuff pushing higher. So that's working in the tech space. This is something I show clients. And the reason I bring it up is because our market has been weighted so heavily to the Mag 7, the Magnificent 7. And you can see today that we had a very strong advanced in the FANG stocks or the SPX 7, however you want to call it, right? Amazon in blue skies, Apple in blue skies, Nvidia coming up post earnings from 132 to 142, pushing up to 146. I mean, there is a movement in the large moat mega cap tech plays. So this happens to be a ratio of all of the 7 leading capital weighted stocks that make up the majority of the move in NASDAQ 100, which obviously moved very strongly today, right? So the reason I put this out is because the NASDAQ has actually moved almost 100% since the January 2023 low. And you can see as well this advance in the Mag 7 ratio, which back down here kind of formed this inverse head and shoulder for anyone who's kind of still into technical analysis. And literally, we really, from that low, the Qs are $1 away from being 100% over 2 years. So that is what you call outsized, incredible advance in 2 years. 100% in NASDAQ 100 in the last 2 years, we're $1 away. This is the Mag 7 ratio. You can still see this advance. You can still see when, banks had the backstop back in March of 2023, right? You can still see when we broke out in May of 2023. That's thanks to Nvidia and the whole AI wave. You can see July, September, and October of 2023 before the Fed came in and Yellen came in, and what I affectionately call, because it is, the Fed pause and Yellen Yahtzee. Yellen Yahtzee is where she would issue shorter duration T-bills that adds liquidity to the system versus longer duration notes and bonds, which remove it as a way to help backstop the equity market. It's another form of policy intervention, long story short. So that obviously set free the bear above this prior, level of resistance was Nvidia earnings. And then we had the big shake and bake, which was July. And you can see this trend line just so happens that it got exactly defended on August 5th, 2024, which was the after NASDAQ fell, 15%, SMH fell 25%, Nvidia fell 35%, but it got strongly defended. So I still technically can chart this just like I do NASDAQ. My point is we've come all the way up for those who are fib analysis, or they're into potential fib analysis. We finally made it all the way up to this fib level. Now this was taken yesterday, but we're poking above it. This is a strong market. So the NASDAQ 100 is up literally 100% in 2 years. We have phenomenal FANG strength that hasn't even gone parabolic yet. It finally hit my price target. Like I'm literally waiting for this as a potential sign that we might get some shake and bake in this, exuberance. We haven't gotten it yet. We just hit it yesterday. And at the same time, speaking of growth, as I show to clients, and I know some people are not into intermarket analysis, but I love it. I love to use macro and intermarket and technical and quant and the whole thing. This is a growth value rotation tell for me. And one of the things that I mentioned is growth over value right now is in play. You can kind of see where this poked above my ratio of 2.05. That happened back here when we had a big push in May, happened to be Nvidia earnings. And then the whole semi-complex moved higher with NASDAQ. And then we got absolutely above our skis. And this was July 10th. We got extended. And just like anything else, you got parabolas. In stocks, well, this was a parabola in an indicator that the growth value rotation had gone too far, too fast, and it came back in. We just poked above today. I've been waiting for this 2.05 to trigger for weeks and weeks and weeks. Now Nvidia earnings out of the way, came down and settled really nicely at that 136. Really, we talked about that. I'm not worried about this rotation after Nvidia earnings, and now it's back in play. So this is strength. So if we're going to have a trigger to interrupt, we're going to see this get right back down. We're going to see this get rejected. I know these are not your usual ways of telling the market strength, but I like them. I think they work really well. And that's all I wanted to say, was that we basically still have a market that is doing its thing of running hot on the Mag 7 contingency of size. And now we need to see if we're going to get a broadening out of the market. But for right now, those are the two tells that I have. One is very strong, and the other one is up at resistance. So it's going to be it's going to be very interesting if we have any rejection here and come back down, which is not my baseline bet. More likely we push higher.
Join Samantha and Hans at the next Macro to Micro Options Power Hour, held each Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Registration is free. Scan this QR code or click on the link in the description. Watch the full Options Macro to Micro Power Hour episode by clicking on the video here, and subscribe to LaDucTrading YouTube channel for more content.